What's going on, my Jack brother? Coach Scott here. Today's video is all about taking your workouts to the next level. First, I'd love to know what comes to mind when you think of taking your workouts to the next level. Please share your thoughts in a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Maybe you're thinking along the lines of adding a metabolic finisher to the end of your workout to speed up the fat loss process. Or maybe you're thinking of adding a new advanced training technique to your workout to safely take your sets beyond the point of momentary muscular failure. Those are both fantastic. There's a lot of different techniques you can add to your workout to take your training to the next level. But I find that it's oftentimes not about adding more to your training, it's about doing less better. So before you go looking externally for something to add or change with your workouts, I highly encourage you to look within. How can you give more of yourself to what you're already doing with your training sessions? Are you as focused as you can possibly be, or are you distracted? Maybe you're flipping through your phone, through social media, checking emails. Maybe you're always thinking about what just happened at work, what just happened with your day. Maybe you're thinking about what you have to do when you get home later on today. Are you as focused as you can possibly be? For myself personally, I've really learned to treat the gym as my sacred time, to let go of everything else that's going on throughout the day and focus on the here and now, to avoid the temptation to pick up my phone, scroll through social media, check my email, basically avoid distractions altogether so I can give the best of myself to the task at hand, to every single set that I'm about to perform. And the interesting thing is, I found my level of focus during my workouts is largely determined by my mindset as I'm about to walk into the gym. So if I'm experiencing any kind of stress or worried about anything as I pull into that parking lot, that is when I need to let that go. Or if I'm thinking to myself, man, I didn't sleep that great last night. Again, I'm under some stress today. My body's feeling a little weak right now. Maybe I'll just go lighter, higher repetitions, kind of avoid training to failure. That may not actually be the best thing in that moment. I could talk myself out of a great workout. I was actually just having a great conversation with someone in the locker room last week who mentioned like there's days where he feels like he's pulling up to the parking lot, feels like, I could just keep going, head on home right now. I'm not feeling the greatest. Those often are his best workouts, and there's some workouts he comes and he's all amped up. He gets in there, as soon as he does his first set, it just doesn't have it. So you really don't know until you walk in the gym and you do that first repetition how it's going to feel. So don't talk yourself into a bad workout before you even walk through that door. And as I mentioned in one of my stories last week, when I walk into the gym on leg day, I am nervous as fuck because I know shit's about to get really uncomfortable as I test my limits. But just as nervous as I am way more excited for that challenge. I know as soon as I perform that first repetition, it is go time. I am telling myself, bring it on. I am excited for this challenge. I found it really fascinating to read comments from some of my fellow bros saying like they basically never reach anywhere near that level of intensity. They've never been nervous leading up to that workout. So this is an area where you got to ask yourself, again, check yourself. Do you really need to add anything else to your training, or can you look within and give more of yourself to your training through your effort, through your level of intensity that you bring into the workout? Now, I think it's safe to say that most of the people watching this video are likely giving great effort to their training sessions. And you may even feel like you're giving your best effort. But you gotta ask yourself, is there another level? Do you have more within you to give to your training sessions? Like, trust me, I am always checking myself when it comes to effort. I thought I was giving my best effort 10 years ago. I mean, all the time. I'm watching my videos and going, man, I'm really crushing it. I'm giving the best of myself to those training sessions. But somehow, some way, I just continue to keep finding a whole new level. And I had an interesting conversation with one of my clients just recently this week. Again, like I see he shares video footage of himself performing some of the movements to get form critiques and all that stuff. I see the level of effort that he has given. And I've been asking himself, like, because he's been asking, like, he wants more finishers. He always feels like he needs that little bit more volume at the end of the training session, really burn it right out. And then ask him, like, could you give more effort to each set that you're performing leading up to that? Because really, with what I've programmed for him, he should be spent. He shouldn't be able to even ask for anything else. I'm like, could you give more to the sets that you're already doing? And it wasn't in a way of telling me he wasn't giving great effort to his training sessions. Like, I see what he's doing. He's busting his ass in the gym there, but I know he could be doing more. And then he really start thinking a little bit more. It's like, you know what, like on the leg press, he's again going back to some of our recent videos where we're talking about training to failure and using lightweight versus heavier weights. For some movements, like the leg press, he prefers higher repetitions, lighter weight. It just feels better for him. But he admitted that when he gets to that point where the burning sensation is just too unbearable, that's when he stops, even though likely he could push out many more repetitions. It's not his muscles that are stopping, it's just he mentally can't take that burning sensation anymore. So he's not reaching that point of true momentary muscular failure. So he's got to learn to kind of flip that switch in his mind, go to his happy place, work through that burning sensation to bring himself to that point of true, or very, very close to that point of true momentary muscular failure, digging deep within him. So there's always ways that we could check ourselves to pull even more out of us for that training session. It truly is mind-blowing how we can hold ourselves back. As I was talking with this client, encouraging him to take things to the next level, it exposed some of his limiting beliefs. He was worried that if he pushed himself even further, that it would lead to cheat reps and running the risk of injury. And that's not at all what I was encouraging him to do. I just knew he had a whole nother gear in there. Especially when he's talking about the leg press there, when he's stopping when it was the burning sensation that was getting to be a bit too much, but he could have still moved that weight even more with his muscles without contorting his body or grinding out any reps. It just would have been tougher to work through those reps. Again, your best effort doesn't involve cheating or using sloppy form. It's just that final repetition is going to be really freaking tough, and it's going to move a whole hell of a lot slower than your previous repetitions. I mentioned to him that, like, for me, like, how I know that I have reached that point of true momentary muscular failure is when I can only complete a partial repetition. So I'll complete my last full rep there, and I think to myself, you know what? Maybe I've got one more in me. So let's say for the chest press there, it comes down, I start to push back up, I get stuck, I'm trying to will it up, and no matter how much I am willing that weight, it just won't move. Instead of trying to contort my body to try to force it up any further, I just lower the weight down. So that's the way I know, like, I did that partial, I didn't put my body at risk of injury because I'm not altering my form in any way, shape, or form. I'm just trying to give my best effort there. And if I know for certain on that final repetition before the partial, there's just no way in hell I'm going to be able to get another repetition up there, I'll just do a nice slow negative on that final repetition just to make sure I'm giving absolutely everything I've got to that set. I absolutely love the quote, "How you do anything is how you do everything." And I truly believe that our workouts are character builders that can transfer over into all that we're doing throughout the day. If you are giving a lackluster effort in the gym, kind of selling yourself short, stopping when it gets just a little bit challenging, a little bit tough, if you're allowing yourself to be distracted by your phone, like, how does that carry over into everything else that you're doing throughout the day? Whereas if you are like working through that burning sensation, you're able to flip that switch in your mind, go to your happy place, work through that challenge, and really show yourself what you're made of. How's that transfer over into all that you're doing throughout the day? If you haven't noticed, I'm just a little bit passionate about giving the best of yourself to all that you're doing throughout the day because I believe that's what living life to the fullest is all about. It's the biggest reason I just got this tattoo as a frequent reminder. I've got 3 meaningful symbols here to me. The top one is mindfulness. You got future, present, space. And the idea is to focus on the middle dot, the present moment right now. The middle symbol is the Indian Sanskrit for breathe or be here now, do what comes naturally. And the bottom symbol is arete from Greek philosophy, meaning expressing the best version of yourself from moment to moment to moment. I honestly can't think of a better gauge of success when it comes to my workouts than this right here. Was I present in the moment? Was I focused? Did I give my full attention to every single set? Did I avoid distractions? And did I give the best of myself to all that I did throughout that training session? I find myself less focused on progressive overload, like did I lift any more weight than the last time? Did I do more reps? When you're focused on giving the best of yourself to each training session, that stuff like just takes care of itself. All you can ever ask of yourself is to give the best of yourself to that moment. There's nothing more. Whether you were able to lift more weight or not, it doesn't matter. You gave the best effort that you possibly could. Focus, effort, and fun is where it's at when it comes to taking your training to the next level. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, please do me a favor and share it with them. But more than anything, I'd love to hear from you down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts, share your insights, share your feedback on what you think taking your training to the next level is. Before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Lose Fat, Get Jacked. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you in the next video.